Hey folks, welcome back to another HP Gaming GameLINK video. Today I am off the charts with excitement because we are potentially about to reveal an unboxing that is the longest video we've ever done. We are going to be choosing sides, gaining power, and channeling the powers of Grayskull as we take a look at the all-in pledge for Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia. Oh me, oh my, oh me, oh my. I am so excited. I had a big box. And this, I will say this, this was meant to be delivered on the 16th, which is my birthday, 16th February, go team. But instead, it was delivered well and truly in advance, which I didn't expect. Amazing boxes, huge boxes, two of which. This is an all-in pledge for Masters of the Universe, the board game Clash for Eternia. Wow. I mean, the box art alone is absolutely fantastic. I am a big fan of Mattel and Master of the Universe, He-Man, all that sort of stuff. I grew up with it as a kid. We had all the action figures. My cousins had the King Hiss range. We had Skeletor and He-Man, and it had the ones with the barrel roll that would flick when you bash them. We had the Battle for Eternia original OG board game that had cardboard standees, but little things you could put your action figures in as well. So much going on. I'm going to be fanboying the absolute bejeebers out of this, so I apologize for that in advance. However, CMON have put together a open-ended battle system where you can take the fight one versus many mechanic or solo or just against an AI. Many different battle options available. This is one box of about 8 that I've got here sitting next to me. So without further ado, we're going to rip into it because I need to get into it. I'm so excited as well because for my birthday this year, I want to sit around and play some hardcore games that I haven't been able to play for a while. And now that this is here, this one could very well jump to the top of the list. So whether or not we get a playthrough done is yet to be seen. Obviously, this is still, I want to try and get more playthroughs and things done, more solo playthroughs of games as well, particularly some of the meatier titles that we've unboxed over the last 12 months. But timings and having people around to play, Charlotte can play some. Shush you. Charlotte can play some games, but she can't play them all. So, particularly some of the Arkham Horror titles we've got. So this is one that she will be able to play. She's excited because there is a She-Ra box. You're welcome. Plastic, of course, goes on the Eternia floor that I've got here. I'm going to get an assortment of bells and whistles there, but that's fine. There's nothing else to say. Let's just get into it, all right? I'm going to pop this one up on the overhead for you. God, it's heavy. Whoop! There you go. You can see, it's a beautiful thing. The artwork across the board on these boxes is epic as hell, as you'll see what I mean. There is another box that I'm very excited to get into. I was almost going to split this video into 2 parts like I did with Zombicide, Undead or Alive, and I've done that with Marvel Zombies as well. We will see how we go. This is the base box, Clash for Eternia. This is the one I think that's going to be as close to retail as you can get, except there'll be a few Kickstarter extras in here. But yeah, again, look, it's so good. Even the side of the box here, I don't know if you can see it on the side there. Let me see if I lift that up there. You've got different heroes and things on the side, villains as well. I will try to remember everyone's names. There is a lot going on here. Minis for days, as we know and love. Let's do it, shall we? Here we go. Free stuff for the content of CMON. We've got the book there with the rule book and the scenario book. Going to pop that one here because, science and have Skeletor leaning and looking at us. The rulebook is pretty straightforward. Now, this is the updated final rulebook, which I haven't looked at. I looked at the one online with all the other bells and whistles as well. So some of the rules might be slightly different. Escalation mechanics, game board, Skeletor. I did like the rule book, how you got Prince Adam giving you some things and Skeletor giving you other things. I will try to do a Skeletor voice because fun. Character activation, gaining power, how it works, assigning power, activation, balance. When you spend power, the other side gets power in return. Escalation to basically ramp up play. Damaging heroes, line of sight, got a bit of merman action there. Triclops, non-player characters, utilizing controller AI for scenarios, glossary of terms, character skills, summary, etc., etc., etc. I just... Okay, calm down. Breathe. All right. So different scenarios. I won't go through all these because I do want you to discover that on your own. You've got rescue. There's an explore the dungeon scenario types for open sides where you can choose any faction because there are each side, heroes, villains, has separate factions as well, as we'll see later on. Scenario captions for each one. Mountain brawl, rescue. I think the rescue is one I've seen mostly played. So I don't think if we do a playthrough we'll do this one. This is about rescuing some PCs from the Evil Warrior side. Mountain brawl, etc. Scenarios for days. I love it. Lots of content in there as well. And that is just one of the many scenario books that we have for this. The board is going to be too big to fit on camera. So it is this beautiful board of hexes, which is great and could even be used for D&D because, you know, that's what we do. I judge games on how well I can adapt them into D&D campaigns. Go figure. It is massive. As always, we will get a flyover of all of it when it's all set up, so you can see how that looks. It is, as you can see on this one, it is massive, 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 and allows you to customize the setup so you can effectively build your own scenarios as well, which I kind of dig. Pop that one there for now. There is just not enough space in this room. Tokens, punch-outs. You have Prince Adam, Skeletor, Beastman, Evil Lyn is there, Triclops, AI Controller, Orko, who was a fan favourite, and then you've got here other tokens as well. These look like they're objective tokens, spawn tokens for the controller or the players, depending on which way you want to go. All sorts of bells and whistles as well, which I love and dig that. Fantastic. Chipboard's fantastic too. And then you have the controller board. Sorry, this is the turn order board, I should say. So the way it works here is that the controller will get 4 points to place cards. The players will get 4 points, three points to play cards. 4 points, 3 points. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry. And then that'll determine who's activating on what turn order. So again, this is officially a 1 to 5 player game. So if there's 5 players, one player is the controller who controls an entire side of minions and armies, and then the other players all work together to overcome them, one versus many. Health track down the bottom here, and then you've got your escalation track starting at 0, working its way up to 5, and if you get to 5, stuff gets really real. You've also got these power tracks here, so if you are activating at the end here, this player point, you'll get 3 power tokens to add to your pool, which is a resource you can spend to activate all sorts of abilities, upgrades, etc. Dig it. All right, now we've got this one here. This overlay is going to go out. Now, I am prepared as well. I think there is going to be tape and other bits and pieces all over the place on these things. Oh, no, it's a... Oh, I dig that. Okay. It's just a little... Ziploc baggie. I like it. Let me just get this out of here. Whoop. I'm going to pop that one over there. That's going to go on the floor. These are all the terrain tiles, which I kind of dig. I mean, again, the artwork on these is pretty fantastic. These are condition markers. The terrain, so this is like a dungeon area, and there's entrance points that you can get into, boulders to block out the area, and I like that they're in the same style the cartoon series of stones, which is fantastic. Again, terrain that you can move in and out of, and I think there's also jungles somewhere in here. Maybe these are double-sided. Yes, I believe they're double-sided. So on the reverse, you've got like a lake here, jungles, vines, more boulders. I kind of dig it. Lots of customization, all with one set of tiles. And the tiles, if I take out this one here, the dungeon, or the lake on this side, it's quite a nice thickness. It's going to sit nicely on the board in that maze of hexes and not take up too much space. It's not going to be too bulky, which I kind of dig, and you're going to be able to know what's going on. Your escalation token there, which helps you on the board work out which level of escalation you're at. On the reverse of this one, though, more foliage, trees, plants, etc. And I believe the plants you can move in and out of. It does take extra movement to do so, but once you're in there, you can move around and stay hidden, which is cool. But this is what we came to see. Okay, so true to form, CMON have put together these crazy trays. This is an escalation, the controller board. So you've got your power here, little notches here that you put your team on at the top, and then you've got your skills track and the power contained in those skills. So you'll place your power cubes here and then denote how many cubes you've got to spend for that skill. Again, they've got the little recess so you can get the cards out nice and easy. That's awesome. We have player boards, and I believe there's 4 of these here. I'm just going to make sure there's nothing else hiding underneath there. There is. So your hero card goes here, and they've got that nice emblazoned Masters Universe thing. Power for your base skills. Skills that you gain over the game as escalation happens. There's a bit of schmutz there. Let's get that out of the way. Get off. And then power for those skills as well. And there's 4 of those traits. They look fantastic. I just like how they keep everything nice and neat. Very good for organizing players. Player cards, skill cards, dice for days, player aids, and terrain cards. We know what's in there. We'll get to there in a minute. More storage for bits and pieces. So I'm assuming this is good, because this could mean... That's one thing that is different as to Zombicide or other things. The storage here, there's more space. So I'm wondering if extra tokens and other bits and pieces, once they're punched from there, could potentially stay in there, which leaves more space in the box for other tokens and terrain tiles that may be in other expansions. That's kind of awesome. I like that. All right, let's bust into this set of cards here, and then we'll talk dice. Now, as I've just said, dice means... dice game means potentially going to suck, because I struggle with dice games, as you know if you watched the channel before, but we'll see how we go. I think the attack and defense thing, managing the abilities, is going to be how it works, and then obviously the dice is not as crucial. I do believe if you roll a castle Grayskull, you get 2 successes depending on what you're trying to roll, whether it's range attack or melee attack. These are double-sided as well, so this would be one of the controller versions, and then on the back is the, this is the AI characters. So you've got here, what have we got? We've got He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Ram-Man, Orko, who was always my favorite, had an Orko toy when I was growing up, Tila, Stratos. Who else we got? Oh, there he is. I'll get you, He-Man. You're welcome. Beastman, Evil Lyn, Triclops, Trapjaw, he was my favorite too. I love Trapjaw. Merman. And then these are the hero cards that you can actually play as. So they would sit on your player board, or there is the controller side for if you're using them in the controller. So those are AI versions. You've got He-Man, Man-at-Arms, Ram-Man, Orko, Tila, Stratos, Skeletor, Beastman, Evil Lyn, Triclops, Trapjaw, Merman, mounted heroes, because you can have them mounted, and then different things there on Battlecat and Panther. I will say too, as a core box, that's quite a team that you can mix and match with, and I kind of dig that. Lots of opportunity to mess with your fellow players, things like that. I dig that. That's fantastic. We've got some player cards here we're going to go through. Come on. Oh my goodness. So much to get through. I apologize if I sound like I'm rushing. There is just a lot of content here, and I only have a few hours to get this done while no one else is at home. Means I can fanboy and maybe get a quick game in solo as well. We'll see what happens. Player aids are here, folks. You've got character activations, how it works, strategy activation, the balance of power, boosts and surges, push, rerolls, dazed. That's the dazed condition that we saw earlier. And then we have... more player aids, and then you've got attack and advance. Now these, I think, are for different cards. Terrain cards, NPC cards. Let's separate these decks out. I like they've got the different words on the back, but they're the same background, which is whatever. Elite minion. AI rules for AI play, which is kind of cool. I'll put that with player aid. Strategy activations. Character activation. Okay, so that's for the different characters that you use as the controller. Attack and advance. Empowered attack activates skills. Empowered skills. So these cards go on the controller board, the turn board, maybe? No, they're too big for that. They're different cards that you can use in game. So the strategy activation is, again, for AI. The minions, you have a hover robot as a minion, Shadow Beast, Eternian Soldier, and Royal Guard. So those are the minions that you can activate in the box, depending on which side is the controller, I should say. Different terrain. So you have boulders that can be placed out, deadly plant, water, the lake, rocks, forest, and the ruins as well. And then you have NPCs. You have Queen Marlena, King Randor, Prince Adam, and Cringer, who's looking pretty nasty. I do like the fact too that those were meant to be just cards, but they're now minis in the other box, which is fantastic. Minis for days. All right, let's have a look here. We've got some other cards, if I can get these out. There we go. Now these cards will make up the different cards you can use as players. You will get skills that you can upgrade as the game goes on. Of course, once someone completes an objective, that's a point of escalation. So even if you are trying to complete objectives, that potentially gives the other side power, as there's always that balance. One side doesn't ever necessarily run away with it. It really makes a contention. So power system controller cards, and that gives you strategy card and trapjaw. So these are for your different heroes, villains, etc. So player power system cards. Let's try and separate these out. You've got Triclops. Oops, don't throw things around, Matt. Triclops. You have player versions of same. So what I might do is keep these together, just so we've got it all there. Player, controller, player, controller, player, controller, player. So these are for all the different characters. If I have a look at this, they're little mini cards for He-Man, for depending on which side you're on, Ram Man, etc. And then nice quality, good quality. I do like the fact the villains are purple and the heroes are green colour, which is very cool. Then we have the different hero cards. These are controller skills, so you get 4 cards. That is a... Okay, so we've got here the standard side, I think, is this one. And then when you boost, you flip it over and you get extra abilities on the card. And again, that's to do with escalation, so that everyone gets different rules. Empower, spend 2 power as a reaction after rolling attack dice, reroll any you'd like. Defense boost. Then you have Battle Plan, draw 1 strategy card, play 1 strategy card. Reserves, spawn up to 2 minions, activate up to 2 minions, command. And then if on the reverse side you have a command, surge before after moving, that character gets to perform an attack action. Reserves changes that to 3 minions when it's upgraded. Battle Plan, your strategy cards gain their upgrade effect when they're played. Ooh. Power gives you surge to roll 1 dice, extra attack, etc. That's cool. I like that. Escalation's fantastic. We have strategy cards. Now these are cards that can be played depending on your player count. I think you get to play strategy cards. Daunting Presence, quick support cards, not so fast, it's like an interrupt, refuse to yield, do you yield, ambush, unlimited power, except it is limited because there's only so many cubes. Then you have different character abilities. So you see how it's a red background? That is the last skill that you would place in terms of escalation. So that will encase in ice, aqua armor, torrent, freeze ray, overdrive, grab. That's a bit of a grew there for you. Swordmaster for Triclops, quick reflexes, dashing strikes, shadow mimic, mind control, drain power. And it looks like they can be upgraded as well, which is kind of cool. Beastmaster, Frenzy, Survival of the Fittest, Unlimited Power, Teleport, and Havoc Jolt, He-Man, take that! Lord of Avion, Carry Ally, Rocket Rush, Inspiring, Fortila, Offensive Stance, Whirlwind abilities, Magic Wand, Dazzle, Magic Shield, Juggernaut, Guardian, Spinning Cleave. I have the power for He-Man, Earth Shatter, Skill Charge, yep, that's about right, Enhance Gear, Grenade, and Overwatch. And again, on the other side, there is different options. So I think each card has 2 skills, and when you gain a new card, you can decide which way you want to go. But once it's placed, obviously you can't change it in the game, which is kind of cool, fantastic. Then we have the power tokens, and they are not in a sealed bag. They're in a little Ziploc, which I kind of love. Let's see here. Now these cubes are just literally like a pandemic-y style cube. I know that's how I reference everything, but they've got this molded oozing sort of glittering power presence. I hope that shows up on camera. They just look great, and I think you're going to want them. Like it's obviously something that needs to be desirable because it's a valuable resource that allows you to activate your abilities. I do like that balancing of power, whereas if I spend 2 powers, it's 2 power cubes as He-Man, the controller or Skeletor will gain 2 power at the end of their turn as well. So be careful how much you spend on one turn. Then you've got dice for days. Now we, knowing this is a CMON game, I think went in and actually got an extra dice pack as well because that's just sensible. I will say, however, there are 12 dice in the base box as opposed to Zombicide, which only has 6. So I think considering you only roll a maximum of 6 dice anyway, there's at least enough of a set for a player side and a controller side, which is fantastic if you just have 2 players. But I expect to play this with multiple players, so here we are. I do like the fact that they're etched, which is very nice rather than being screen printed. Very, very cool. We've got ranged attack targets, melee attacks, and then on some of these sides, faces is Castle Grayskull as well, which acts as 2 successes for whatever you're trying to roll. So if I roll these, say I'm making a melee attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits, 6 hits, 7, 8, 9, 10, except it's not because I get to roll 6 dice. So I would choose all hits. Not a bad roll. That's going to go, they're going to go back in the baggie. And that's pretty much it for this box. There's nothing else in this box we need to discuss. I'm so kidding. There's clearly something else we need to discuss, and that is the minis. I will, rather than, I'm just going to try and lift them. I was going to potentially bring the camera in so I can get in nice and close, but I'm just concerned for time and the fact that I have so many other boxes here to get through. So let's do it. Let's try and get through this. I'm going to bring it up here for height. I do like the storage. There is bottom tray, top tray of where everything goes, which I love. Okay, let's see. Please don't be sealed with tape. I hate that. All right, let's see what we got. We got all sorts of bells and whistles and goodies. Top tray, oh my goodness. Okay. So the top tray is here. And that has, you know what, I'm going to move that out of the way for now. As best I can. Hopefully it doesn't fall and crash and burn. All right, so we have some crazy, crazy minis. All right, this is the Minions tray. So you have your Eternian guard. That's one of the elite folks, though. That's a royal guard here. And I hope I'm doing that justice. Got his axe ready to go. He's got an axe to grind. Ba-dum-tsh. Oh dear, losing the plot. I dig these so much, they're very cool. Then the other elite on the other side is a Shadow Beast. Now this guy, you got a Royal Guard versus a Shadow Beast. I think I'm placing money on the Shadow Beast because this guy, look at the comparison here. The Royal Guards can hold their own. They've got Berserk mode. They don't, I made that up. These guys look sick. Clubs and everything else as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I do hope I'm getting them in the shot, and we'll go from there. All right, now we have the Eternian guards. These guys have their shields and everything else all ready to go, and they mean business. I like those maces too. Very reminiscent of obviously the old school toys and cartoons, which is fantastic. And then we have the hoverbots, which again they've got 1 health point. They're just going to be annoying, but obviously if there is a swarm of them and you try and move past them, you take damage a la Attack of Opportunity in D&D. So while this is a tabletop game of the battle variety, it's a skirmish game at heart, and there are elements of tabletop role-playing games and those rule sets in this as well. The Attack of Opportunity, which is called escape damage in this game, could very much be a real thing because you take 1 point of damage for every enemy adjacent to your space you leave. So if there's 3 of them in a row and you move 1, 2, you'll take 1 for the first one, 2 for the second one, 1 for the third one, for a total of 4 damage. And that's messy. So that's that tray. All those guys look absolutely fantastic. There is a slightly different sculpt for the guard, which is cool. So they're in 4 different sculpts, which I kind of dig. The hoverbots get different sculpts, or they're all the same? They're slightly different. This one looks a bit more menacing. He's got his claws bent down, but otherwise they're very much the same sculpt. I do like those. They're kind of cool. They will look great on the table. Then we have the main tray of minis. Oh my gosh. Okay. Ah dear. All right, so we have player rings. Now these are, I'm assuming, for either AI players or whatever the case may be. Is that what they're for? They're just a similar sort of rings you would find in most other CMON games, which I kind of dig. But maybe they're for NPCs, so they're not controlled by either side necessarily. Could be objective markers and things as well, which I love. All right, let's have a look. We've got my favorite, Orko. There he is with his wand. Oh, he looks so good. He looks so good. I dig it. I dig it. And then he's floating on that rock formation as well, which is cool. You have Tila with her long sword, her shield. She means business. And again, I just hope I'm doing them justice and getting all in the frame. Oh, don't throw Tila around, Matt. What are you doing? Man-at-Arms with his rifle, because he is armed, obviously. And he's got... The detail on these are fantastic, and I like, obviously, that each faction is effectively a different sculpt colour in terms of the material for the plastic, which is great. Then we have, this is Ram Man, and he's carrying a nasty-looking axe as well. Again, a lot of these guys have axes to grind. I don't know why. There you go. Epic battles ahead. I dig it. Then you have Stratos. Let's put in... Where is he? There he is. Stratos is here. Oh, I dig this one. So you can see here, he's ready with his jetpack. Taken to the sky. He's got his wings on display as well. I love it. I love it so much. So good. So good. Then we have He-Man himself. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power. There he has his sword, his battle armor, and he is ready to stand against the forces and the might of Skeletor, and I dig it so much. We'll come back to that one. Let's start with Evil Lynn, who is living up to her name. She looks boss. She's got her scepter there, pointing at the targets, ready to order the minions to do their thing, send out those hoverbots. All right, then we have what looks like Beastman. Oh, yes. I can never remember the voices. It's been such a long time. Beastman is here. I love his pose. It's so good. I love it. I love it. He means business. Then we have Trapjaw. Trapjaw looks cool too. I love it. Just the poses, the sculpts are awesome. They're so good. I love it. Bringing back so much nostalgia. Triclops is here with his sword. I do like his pose as well, and I love the fact that you've got the different eyes that are available on his little sight visor thing. That's very, very cool. I dig it. I dig it. And then you've got Merman, who's doing his thing. He's got his serrated blade here, which is just nasty as. I love it. Oh, there we go. I'm knocking the camera. Fantastic. There we go. Merman doing his thing. And then we have these two big boys. We have He-Man on Battle Cat. Look at this nonsense. Oh my gosh. Riding into battle. Ready to kick butt and chew bubblegum, Duke Nukem style. Love it. Love it. Love it. And then, of course, we have, in right of reply, and fair enough too, Skeletor riding Panther. I love it. I have a mount too, He-Man. Hey folks, Matt from the future here. In all my excitement when I was doing the unboxing, I have made a slight error. So this is a little bit of errata I'm putting in here. It would be remiss of me not to do an unboxing for Masters of the Universe and not show off the Skeletor miniature. I am incredibly sorry, and I've rectified that for you here. He deserves his moment in the sun. So please, without further ado, here's this little bit of a snippet of video. I know we will see it later on, but I just thought let's get a nice close-up of that for you as well. So without further ado, here we go. All right, so here we are. This, my friends, is Skeletor. And hopefully I can get that detail here for you and do the man justice, because you know what? Masters of the Universe is not Masters of the Universe without this three-toed menace running around causing trouble. And I just love you've got his ram thing here. You've got the menacing cackle that he's doing as well. His little symbol, which obviously also links him to Hordak as well. He's got his own version of the furry pants. He's got his little shoulder bits and pieces here as well. And it's just an imposing presence, and I dig it. Skeletor, you look amazing. I know we'll get some details of him when it's all set up on the table later on, but I think he deserves his moment, and even down to the little cap he's got on as well, which is awesome. Skeletor, good luck in your battles, my friend. I wish you well. Thank you, Matt. It's so good. So good. And I love the fact that the sides are packed in and they're basically facing down each other, ready to tear each other a new one. So good, so good. And that is it for the core box, my friends. We have gotten through the first one relatively unscathed, but believe me, there is plenty more. I'm going to pack this away, and then we're going to get into it. Give me one moment, and I will come back to you very shortly with some more epic content as we open up the box of power. All right, here we are with box 2, the box of power. Now, this is the Kickstarter add-on box. So most of this, I believe, is pretty much minis and add-ons, which is fantastic, stretch goals, etc. I'm almost tempted to bring in the camera lower for this one. Maybe we'll do that instead. In fact, maybe we'll do that for the rest of the video because there's so much going on. Yeah, let's have a look. I'll reveal the cover, and you can have a look and see for yourself what's inside. Because the He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, or Masters of the Universe line, just had so much going on. Different characters, different factions, all that sort of stuff. There are going to be some characters in here that are for, or potentially other factions. So, yeah, you'll see what I mean. Let's rip off this one here. I think there's also some terrain in here too. Plastic, of course, goes on the floor. Pop this up on the overhead for you now. Whoop, there you go. Oh my goodness gracious me. This is actually, I think, heavier, maybe, than the other box. And I love the fact that you've got the extra artwork on the side as well with Sorceress and things as well. So let's put this one to the side over here. In fact, I'll put that down on the floor because it's going to get in the way. Scenarios, because bonus scenario content is always wonderful and welcome. So we'll hop this one in here. Skeletor everywhere, He-Man everywhere, that's right, because this box has mini versions of He-Man and mini versions of Skeletor as minions, and I think that's bloody fantastic. I think it was an episode where they just cloned each other and they ran around like an absolute nuts. It was fantastic. Save the Holidays, Coup de Grace, I should say, Aid from the Lake, Mount Rivalry, Battle Cat versus Panther. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. That's very cool. Open Sides Control against the Heroic Warriors. We'll pop that one just over here. Then we have more tiles, tokens, terrain. Now, I believe some of this is for different things. There's webs, there's poison clouds, extra terrain. You've got the different minions in here that you can use. And forget me if I don't know everyone's name. There's so many, it's ridiculous. Too Bad is there. Fangor, I think it is. I could be wrong. There's a Hordak in his battle armor. I dig it so much. On the other side, you've got extra different terrain. You can see here, different boulders, things like that. That is fabulous. Then we have more terrain, more tokens for the different minis and things as well. Sorceress is there. Faker is here. There is a few folks from the King Hiss faction as well. Then you've got here more terrain, more tokens as well, which is fabulous. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now, this tray is cards. Now, this is really great. What I love about this is you've got these little containers for your power. These little tiny boxes. So power markers here. And I just think that's a good way to sort of share the love rather than have them just loose on the table. And they thought of that. It was a stretch goal. I dig it so much. They're very cool. Very cool. Cards. Now, cards-wise, that's all the different heroes, player powers, things like that. More of the same. I said I'd unbox everything. That's for the power system, their controller cards. Okay, all right, I'll open. But I will whiz through them only because, for the purposes of brevity, plastic on the floor. We have Extender, Snout Sprout. He was a favourite. Stone Dart. Snout Sprout, I think the action figure had a water tank. You could actually spray out stuff. Stone Dart, Roboto, Mossman. I had one of him growing up. Clamp Champ. Rock-On. I had a transforming Rock-On that would turn into a boulder. That was very cool. I think there was some McDonald's toys at one stage for those. Mechaneck. Manny Faces. I had one of those too. Had a rotating head inside the thing. That's Fisto. Buzz Off. Hero. King Grayskull. Nasty business. Battle Axe He-Man. Because, you know, he's got to have an axe as well. Commander Man-at-Arms. For when he leveled up. Goddess Tila. Sorceress and Zor. Fisto on Stridor. And there's more space for more cards in here, which I dig. Storage solution for days. Maybe I can get over just 2 boxes. We'll see. I'm kidding. There's too many minis to store. Let's open up this one here. This is going to be the cards for the hero side. Again, double-sided. Okay. Let's go this way first. I don't know. We'll see. We've got different Extender, I should say. Abilities here, and they're double-sided. Snout Sprout. Abilities for days. Look at the different customization options there are here. I love it. It's fabulous. Okay, then we have the character card. So this will give you an idea of which characters are in this box. Again, if I mispronounce names, I apologise. I know it's a cardinal sin. Bear with me. We have more plastic for the floor. There is a pile of plastic here already. You've got Whiplash. You have Clawful. Scareglow. I wish he glowed in the dark. That'd be awesome. Blast Attack. You have Spikeor. Stinkor. He was always cool. I have one of him as well. Mosquito. There's Faker. There is Ninja. You have Webstore. And he's got those web tokens that we saw before. Too Bad or Tuvar. Too Bad Badran. Zodak. Because Too Bad obviously has 2 heads. You have Laser Light Skeletor. Because that's just awesome. You have Lady Slither. She means business. Terraclaws Skeletor. Hurricane Hordak. Bounty Hunter Trapjaw. Scorpia. And Fangor as well, which is bloody brilliant. I love that. Alright, there we go. We've got more cards here. Sorry, someone keeps calling me. And it has usually been telemarketers the last few days. Very frustrating. Alright, there we go. Then we have these battle cards. That's 2 halves for Too Bad. So how that works in terms of his different actions. Attack Coordination, Claw Frenzy. So he gets 6 cards to choose from. Wow. That's quite cool. I dig that. Enhance your gear. So these are different ones for Fangor, etc. Shadow walking for different heroes, different villains, different powers, different all sorts. So many customization options, and I dig it. I dig it, I dig it. All right, let's have a look here. We've got this little pack of cards, which I think are these like different terrain cards, etc., NPC cards. Like what we saw in the base box. Plastic on the floor again, my gosh. We have terrain, mount cards for when you're mounted minions, lesson of the day. Keep this deck face down. At the end of the game, shuffle the deck, then draw and read 1 card. So like the TV series, Orko would give you a lesson of the day. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh dear. So lesson of the day has a great artwork on the card. Here we go. There we go. At the end of the game, if you won by being a do-gooder, then you got lucky this time. That's all. If you lost, maybe try being more cunning and sneaky next time. You can get away with all sorts of things that they'll never see coming. And that's the lesson of the day, my friends. I dig that so much. That's fantastic. So mount cards, mini Skeletor clone for minions, He-Man mini clone, Panther, Swiftwind, Battle Cat, and then you've got a web terrain, Stink Cloud terrain, and moss terrain as well, because obviously Moss Man is in here somewhere. Oh my goodness. stack of player cards. Jeez. And I love their big tarot-sized cards too. Lots of information to read, but at the same time, I dig it. I'm really glad I did not cut myself with that knife then. All right, there we go. That one's there on the floor. There we go, there we go, there we go. Plastic again on the floor. This is a massive deck of cards. AI characters, I love it. You've got Extender, and then on the reverse you've got their controller side, so it can be played by the controller. Extender, Snout Sprout, Stonedar. The artwork is sick, I love it. Mossman, Clamp Champ, Rock On, Mechaneck, Mounty Faces, Fisto, Buzz Off. If I go too fast, I'm sorry, please pause the video. King Grayskull is there, Battle Axe He-Man, Commander at Arms, Goddess Tila, Sorceress, Fisto on Stridor, Zor, Whiplash, there he is, Clawful, Scareglow, Blast Attack, Spikeor, Stinkor, Mosquito, Faker, Ninja, Webstore, Too Bad Tuvar, Too Bad Badra, Zodak, Laserlight Skeletor, he looks awesome, Lady Slither, Terraclaws Skeletor, Hurricane Hordak, Trapdoor Bounty Hunter mode, Scorpia, Fangor, and then you've got the AI character versions of same, so Extendar, Stonedar, Roberto, Mossman, etc. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of cards. A lot of cards, a lot of hero options. By now, by this point, when you're watching this, you may have already made a decision of which heroes you would like to see played or villains. Did you have a favourite? I know, I think Lashaw, I should say, in the King Hiss box. He's one that I had a toy of, and he had his tongue that would flick out, and you could... the action figure was fantastic. He was one of my favourites. Is it Leechaw, I think it is the guy with had the leech, and he could cling on to windows and stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay, anyway, back to this box. I still have one more box that I at least want to get through before I stop, and there's already... oh my gosh! Okay, lots going on. Let's see if we can bring this one out of here. I will see how I go. Come on. Should I bring the camera down for this one? Maybe I should. All right, give me 1 second. I'll get set up and we will show you. You know what? First things first. Let's do this. Let's go like this. And we're going to open this one up and get the tray out. There is a top tray and a bottom tray. I dig it so much. I dig it so much. There is terrain as well in here for objectives and other markers, which is very, very cool. All right. I will bring the camera down. Give me 1 moment. And we will have a look and see what is going on. Give me 1 sec. All right, there is a lot to get through, so I will try and make this work as best I can. I have got the camera in nice and close here, so hopefully we'll be able to do this justice. We have these objective markers here, and they are in slightly different sculpts. As you can see here, the sword is sticking out and doing its thing. I love that. It's got that same sort of hex base that you can chuck it on the board, and at least you know exactly where you're headed. I dig that. There's 6 of those for the different objectives that happen in the game. There is also a boulder terrain set up here. Now this has got all sorts of bells and whistles on it. I dig it so much. It's just adding that extra element of crazy. You've also got little He-Man clone minions, which is so ridiculous, but I love it. And they are in 2 sculpts here. I love it. He's so proud. Likewise, you have Skeletor, mini minions. It's so good. And they're like 1/8 your size. I love it. It's almost in that pose where he's like, until next time. Then we have, let's see. Let's start with, who do we go with? Let's start from this end. We have, this is Scareglow. He's quite an imposing presence. I dig that cape. He means business. That's like a halberd or a glavy. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Then we have Lady... what's her name? Serpent Lady. That's terrible. Look at that. Lady Slither. That's it. Oh, living up to that name. And she's got that crazy ceremonial looking dagger thing. Yeah, she's nasty. And I love it. Then we have Hurricane Hordak. I love it. Oh my goodness. My goodness me. Is this... I'm not sure who this one is. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. I should know. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. This one. Webster. That's who it is. Web store, I should say. Oops, don't knock them around. I do like the terrain as well on the bases. It's very cool too. Webster. Then we have Fangor, or Fangor, I should say. And I like he's got this little flying snake around his wrist. Look at that sword. That blade is sick. And those fangs, man. That is a heck of a sculpt. That's bloody frightening. I love it so much. Then we have Battleclaw Skeletor. Is that Terraclaw? Terraclaw Skeletor. And they've got the numbers on them as well, so you know which one is what, which is very, very cool. I love it. Then we've got Laserlight Skeletor. Now, I think Laserlight is a manufacturing product for roofing here in Australia. So Laserlight Skeletor, I do like he's got the little hand, his foot on the skull here. That's cool. Has a totally different meaning, but I kind of dig it. It's very cool. I love it. I love it. I love it. Then we have, is it Clobberclaw? Oh, Clawful. Sorry, Clawful. He's got his mace there. That's stock standard mace for clobbering time. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Mosquito. That long nose just means business. He's in that pose like, don't make fun of me. I'm going to come and kick your ass. Then we have is this one. That guy is Blast Attack. Look at that axe rifle thing he's got. That's badass. Oh, these guys are so cool. I love it. And then we have Scorpina. Oh, Scorpia. Sorry, Scorpia. Look at that. That is just awesome. Oh, mate, do not upset this woman. I love it. Look at that. That's so good. I love it. I love it. I love it. Now I can't even get it back in the box, though. That's the thing. There we go. Then we have Zodak. I always found Zodak to be underutilized, just quietly. He means business, though. I love how that gun looks like a mace, so you can actually bash it over the head of other people as well, which is fantastic. And then we have Stinkor. This laser gun, shield up, gas clouds. Because we know what he's all about, don't we? He's a nasty piece of work, this one. And then we have Whiplash. Whiplash by name, Whiplash by nature. The sculpts are fabulous. Then we have Too Bad. With his shield. The boots. I love the heads. They're so good. Can't get any closer there. Not really. There we go. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Then we have Spikeor. I like his pose. It's sort of a little bit like he's almost trying to dab but not. Kneeling down. Spiky. Very cool. And he's got a different mace than everyone else. Yes, Spikeor's got his own brand of clobbering, and I dig it so much. This is Ninja. Looks like, yep, nunchucks. That'll give it away. And that crossbow's boss. Look at that sword, man. I hope you're able to decide who you want to play as, because I sure as hell can't. We've got Faker. I love that Faker's in a different colour as well. Oh my gosh, if I had the time, I would love to just paint all these up. Then you have Bounty Hunter Trapjaw. Now, remembering too, this is tray 1. There is a ton of these here that we need to get through. I dig it so much. Let's grab that out of there. We will pop on that one to keep them safe. And then we will get into tray number 2. He says, try not to knock everything away. Tray number 2, let's have a look and see what we've got in the store here. Now, this is obviously got a bit more craziness going on. It's all crazy, let's be honest. Where do we start? Let's start with terrain. We have some deadly plants here. Now, I love this as this is very much Little Shop of Horrors. Like those plants, you can see they've got teeth. They mean business. I would love a sculpt if there were some that were open. There's 3 of those. There's also more deadly plants. These ones are giving you kisses. But it's probably Kiss of the Spider Woman, if that makes sense. Nasty business. That's cool. I love those. They're fantastic. Let's see. We've got NPCs in here as well as the hero side. I don't know where to begin. All right, let's go. We've got here, who is this one? This is Fisto, which sort of gives it away because he's got this big damaging fist. I like his sword too. That's epic as hell. Then we have, is this King Randor? Yes. No, this is Hero. Sorry, my apologies. I love it. I do think the light is not doing this justice. The features on the other villains box do come out a bit more because it's a darker plastic, but these ones are still just as detailed. You got Buzz Off, I think it is now. Yep. He's got that little axe in hand there as well, which is cool. I dig the detail on the wings. So good. Snout Sprout? No? Yeah, no, Snout Sprout. Yep. I can never remember the names. I like these little, he's like a fireman, putting out flames and stuff, doing his thing. And the fact they didn't just bring the snout down, they had it extended, that's a great sculpt. Dig it so much. Love it. There we go. Pop him back in there. Then we have King Grayskull, who is literally just about bashing stuff, apparently. That Cape's boss. Look at that. That is so good. Dig it. This is Mechanic, clearly, as you can tell. I like the fact that they're pointing, shining everyone on. It's very Keanu Reeves Matrix, like, get over here, let's do it. I know get over here is Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, but whatever. Fisto. This is Fisto on Stridor. I love it. Having the mounts take up 2 spaces, rampaging across the battlefield. Look at this thing. And it's got a back-mounted cannon. That's so cool. Man. Then this is Mossman. Again, that same classic mace that we know and love. I dig it. He means business. I love the little fur pants they've all got on. That always made me laugh. Then Roboto. This crazy mechanized gun there, his visor. Roboto is cool. This is Stondar. I love these guys. They were always one of my favorites as well. I think I had Rock-On I had a toy for. I don't know if I have one for Stondar. But yeah, they could change into actually boulder shape, which is very, very cool. This is Rock-On. He's got that cannon chest mounted thing. I think playing a game like this, you need to make the sound effects. It's a necessity. Clamp Champ. Those pincers. Oh, I love it. I love it. Extender. By name and by nature, everything folds out. I love that. Look at that chip, CPUs and stuff in the boards there. His extendable lance, extendable head, extendable legs. I dig it. I dig it so much. That's so cool. Manny faces. His rifle. Again, the terrain on the bases is pretty cool too. I love it. That's so cool. It's a shame you can't change the actual face like you could with the action figure. That was very, very cool. Back in the day. Then we have, this is Commander Man-at-Arms, is it? Yep. It's a mace, but it looks like an ice cream cone. A giant waffle cone. Follow the cone. Then we have, this is Battle Axe He-Man. I like that pose too. Charging in, no holds barred, fur pants. I dig it. Yeah, in the action figure mode, that little symbol there, you could hit it 3 times and it would degrade the more damage you took, which is very cool. I got Goddess Tila with her nasty serpentine bits and pieces. Tila always meant business. I wasn't going to talk about it because I didn't feel it was necessary. The movie, Frank Langella, Dolph Lundgren. Let's not talk about it. Back in the day, I remember watching it ad nauseum, but it just hasn't held up over the years. This is Zor. I love Zor as perched, but Zor is like ready to kick ass and just go for it. I love it. And there's all the bits and pieces on Zor's back. That's quite an imposing mini. I dig that. That's very cool. Sorceress, who always meant business. I love it. That wingspan, man. Come on. So good. So good. And then we have Battle Cat. Come on, that's awesome. Battle Cat. He's got one paw up, ready to go. Oh, the pose is so good. I love it. I love it so much. This is Panther. The terrain is sick. Look at him. He's lunging out. Oh, so good. So good. And this is one of my favorites. Here we go. This is Cringer doing his classic pose. Oh, I'm so afraid. Oh. I love it. Even down the stripes and things as well, because he was green and yellow with the stripes, which was very, very cool. Then we have, is this Prince Adam on his own? Yep, as an NPC. Standing there looking boss. Even though he's He-Man, he's still wearing furry pants because that's what they do. That's what they do in Eternia. You've got King Randor here. He looks boss. He's tough. As a king, he's a leader. The cape is, I think it's the cape. If you have a kick-ass cape, you're going to be a good leader, villain or not. I think it's the way to go. Capes for days. Then you have Queen Marlena. I can never remember her name. Queen Marlena. She's bringing it. That sword is, that's epic as hell. I love the staff too. That's cool. She's got a long flowing robe, gown. Again, detail on these are fantastic, as you expect from a company like CMON. And then we have a Mount Swiftwind. Now, this is one that Charlotte was super excited about. I mean, look at it. TriStar Pictures presents jokes. Oh my goodness, I love it. I love it so much. All right. Do you have a favorite mini so far? There is a lot going on here, I understand, but hey, we'll make it work. I'm going to clear this away because there's one more box I want to get through, along with, well, there's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more boxes I want to get through. I think we're going to bite the bullet and we're going to go for it. Give me 1 second, I'll clear this away and I will show you what I'm talking about. All right, one more box that I've got for you here before we move on to the expansions, and that is this one. Whoop! Oh dear. This is huge. This is the plastic Grayskull pack, and it's pretty much all mini, and I dig it. So we're just going to get straight into it. This is... I love that it says, you must have the base game of Clash of Eternia to enjoy this product. No, I don't. I'm just going to enjoy the product as it is, because damn, it's kick-ass awesome, and I love it. So, let me just open this out for you. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Let's get rid of this box because we do not need that box anymore. And I don't know how to do it without smashing cameras and things. Oh. Look at this thing. All right, so we have plastic for days. Oh my God. Okay, sorry, I'm calmed down. I've got to talk about it. All right, so we have the actual Grayskull pack itself. We have a little bag of figures, which, forget that, whatever. This is what it's all about. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. I'm glad I pulled the camera back because this is a mini that is absolutely not a mini at all. I love it. It's a fully plastic molded. You've got places for your different figures, terrain for them to move on. And I believe the drawbridge, if I can figure it out, actually opens. Although I could be wrong. I don't know how that works. I don't know how that opens. I need to know. Okay, so you have some tiles here. I will obviously get a shot of this all set up. Don't stress. So get rid of the plastic. So you have terrain here. You pop that on, and I'm pretty sure if all goes well, when that lands in here and sits nicely on the terrain, there you go. And then you have a setup that actually leads up onto the castle as well. So again, I'll have to get a shot of this because it's just, I love it so much. It's so good. It doesn't look like it's lining up as well as it should. There's a hole in the middle here, and there's a hole here. And you meant to put the two together, obviously. And I would imagine that there. I just want to get the drawbridge open so much. I don't know if I can. Is it meant to open? Yes, it does. I love it. I love it. And then there connects that to that. Oh my God, it's so good. So all the terrain pieces here do their thing. You have, and I'll pop it on the overhead so you can see it. That opens out, obviously. Just look at this thing. Play with me. Oh my God. What a set piece. What a set piece. I dig it so much. Okay, I know my camera here is freaking out. So maybe I'll take a break and then come back. I love it. I mean, it's just, again, on the overhead, I'll show you. That is just epic as hell. I love it. I forget, there are some other bits and pieces here as well. I'll show you on the overheads too. So these are decorations and bits and pieces you can use to decorate your thing, including a flag for Castle Grayskull. Boom, there it is. And then you've got a weapons rack that you can set up somewhere as well. I do love too, there is little places for a laser gun to set up here. Sorry, there it is. So your characters can mount laser cannons. There is also like a ram thing here as well, which can go up on top there too. And there is a ladder that they can use to climb up and get to certain areas as well. It's ridiculous. I love it. There's even, if I can take all those off for a moment, there is even a ledge here for characters to jump in, and on here as well. I love it. I cannot wait to get this set up and show you what it looks like on the table with the flyover, so stick around for that. I'm going to clear this away. I've got, I don't know, umpteen 100 other boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4 more boxes, plus an extra dice pack and a few other things as well. That was fantastic. All right, I will see you back after this. Give me a moment, and I'll be back with more content for you for the Battle of Eternia game. Give me a few seconds. Okay, so we are back. I have cleared some space for you because we're going to need it. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 expansion boxes, one of which is a supplement. One of which is the actual expansion box, while the Castle Grayskull mini is the supplement for that one. There's also extra dice pack and things like that. But let's just get into it because, oh my goodness gracious me. We have here the Attack on Castle Grayskull pack, which is literally what it says on the box. There's no minis in here. No, I tell a lie, there is. There's some minis in here as well. But this is effectively terrain module, unlike the big mini we saw before for the Castle Grayskull. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we have more plastic for the floor. The pile of plastic here is just batshit bonkers crazy, so we'll have to make that work. Can I just say too, the artwork on this is just fabulous. I dig it so much. Have a look on the overhead. Whoop, there you go. I love it. You've got Skeletor and He-Man, all the villains and heroes flying around. You've got the planets in the background. You've got Castle Grayskull, mists and stuff. It's just amazing. And it looks like the power system may very well become a thing that is aligned for CMON. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Mattel Games. Let's open up and have a look at this one. We have The Assault on Castle Grayskull. This is, I think, a particular scenario, special rules. One scenario in the box, but I kind of dig it. Talks about how to set up the bits and pieces, flank tokens, etc. for the castle itself, the Siege of Castle Grayskull. Now, obviously you can use the scenery tiles that are in this box, but you can replace that with the castle as well, which is just awesome. I dig it, I dig it, I dig it. We have the flank of the castle. So the actual terrain tiles itself are bloody huge. So these are your drawbridge token, the flank token for the different things. It's like a HP track. So as you track it on that board and the castle takes damage, you slide it down and it will give you an indication of the actual overall health of the drawbridge, etc. But look at this thing. And then you obviously have a terrain there where you can put minis who are defending the castle. Again, more defense tokens, different flanks. There is the front of the drawbridge, little landing place there as well for a hero to stand there and take pot shots. Tokens, which are looking like they're little spell tokens, I think they are. Portal tokens. What have we got? Defender cards, terrain, open drawbridge, training dummy, laser, castle, Grayskull, 4 shields. Makes sense. So you've got the open drawbridge token, which is very cool. I dig that very much indeed. You've got these little pitfalls here. You've got flag, everything else you saw in the other box that is represented by miniature. Then you have some cards. And yes, there are minis in this box too, because why not? I dig it, I dig it, I dig it. You've got attacker. Now these 4 cards I think are attacking cards for the solo player or the AI player, the controller. Demolitionist, Shield Specialist, Tunneler, and Commander. Different cards that give you different objects, different abilities. We have minion cards and other bits and pieces. I'm assuming there's some terrain cards in here as well. So much cool. I dig it. I think maybe I'll set up with the flyover the attack on Castle Grayskull stuff, just because it'll look boss as hell. We'll see. We'll see how we go. Plastic for the 4. Plastic on the floor. We have minions. We have defending cards. Let's see. We've got minion cards, defenders, terrain. So, force shield terrain. Tunnel. A battle ladder. Grayskull front with 20 health. Left flank. Right flank. The drawbridge. And then a cliff. Don't fall off the cliff. That would be very, very bad indeed. The defenders cards, laser turrets, flag, training dummy, and a weapon rack, which gives you free actions. When a friendly character attacks, their character rolls 1 die extra, and that character may use 1 attack boost for free. Very handy if you're on a weapons rack. Unlimited weapons. Skelecons and Randor's guards, they have 1 hit point each and are literally cannon fodder for the masses of heroes. I love a good piece of cannon fodder. It's awesome. Going to put those cards back in the tray here, ready to go. I like that it's got the 1 box with everything in it. I have a feeling there's tape here. Yes, there is. Damn you, CMON. I hate it when there's tape. But it's bloody frustrating for us unboxers. Alright, there we go. More tape and crap for the floor. We have oh, so much. All right, we have the Skelecons here in different sculpts. Some have got their maces limping and their rest is up high swinging. Randor's guards charging. So we have Randor's guards. Take the fight to them. Stop them from getting in, etc. I love the fact that the villains could have overtaken the castle and you have the heroes assaulting the castle instead. I dig that very much. And this guy's just kicking back going, let them come to me. I dig it. I dig these guys so much. Minions for days. I don't mind the Skelecons. The villain sculpts are pretty badass. Kind of dig them. Except for this guy. This guy looks like he's the one who's like, yeah, still not very well in training. That wingspan is pretty badass though. I dig that. Very cool. Very, very cool. All right, that is the contents of this box. We still have more to go. Still have more to go. So I'm going to pop this one back in here. And then we're going to get on with the next box, which I think is going to be the Evil Hordes of Hordak. So that's going to have some minis in there as well. Lots of crazy content. Let's get into it. Pop that one there. Oh my goodness. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. As awesome as that box is, I think having the castle mini is pretty damn spectacular. We'll pop that one out of the way. The next one we have is the Evil Horde expansion, and this adds new scenarios, new cards, new villains to attack with, new people, PCs, characters to play as, a few tokens as well, I would imagine. I dig it. I dig it, I dig it, I dig it. Let's get that sorted. There we go. Hordak causing trouble for everyone in Eternia. Shadow Weaver is spectacular. I like the idea of that in this box as well, which I love. That's fantastic. So we're going to pop that one just there for now because that's what we're talking about. We have tokens, so all the different heroes, hit point markers, etc. New terrain type as well, which is very cool. We have cards for days. That's a minion card for the Horde Trooper, so we'll just rip that one out of there right now. Yeah, I was going to try to not have to have so many boxes, but here we are. Horde Trooper, Horde Wraith, and a Shadow Cage as part of the new terrain. That's what those purple bits are there. Let me get the trusty knife out of the way so we can rip into these. Yeah, Charlotte is currently away on school camp, having a wonderful time, I'm sure, but she is destined to get into this. And she's also, we have a copy of Hogwarts Legacy, which I am not allowed to play until she gets back, apparently. Go figure. We have Hordak on Mantisaur. We have Shadow Weaver, Modulock. Yes, Modulock was cool. Leech. Yes, that's the one I was talking about before. Grizzlaw. Mantenna. Mantenna was cool. Catra. And Hordak himself. Oh, I love it. Look at the art on these cards. Oh my goodness. Catra, Leech. So good. So very good indeed. These are going to be the player cards for different skills and things as you play through the game. Escalation happens. You get more abilities. I dig that. That tray is modular. That's kind of cool. It could be like a little drawer container for all the cards. That's very cool. Plastic again goes on the floor. You've got an energy cannon, Hex, Mantisaur, gives you a +2 health, Parry, Ambition, Force Captain, Paralysis Beam. These are all different cards for all the different villains. I love it. And then, of course, the controller cards for those, or player cards as well, so you can decide when you're going to use your actions. Now, if I rip this out of here, are we going to have more tape? CMON, what are you doing? Why? Why are you doing this, CMON? I do like as well that the side of the box here, I'll put it on the overhead for you, has the different characters on the side of the box. Very cool indeed. I dig it. I dig it so much. All right, there we have. Who have we got here? We've got minions. Those shadow folk that we talked about before with their guns. There is, again, multiple sculpts for each, 2 sculpts for each, which is great. I dig that. I dig it so much. Oh my God, setting this up on the table is going to be sick. Cannot wait. I mean, I can't wait to play either, but that's awesome. We have Hordak riding Mantisaur. Oh my gentle Jeebus. Maybe I should save that to last. Oh well, I've done it now. So good. So good. Then we have, what was this guy's name? This is Grizzlaw. And they've got those crossbows just as a bit of point of difference for the different factions, which I love. Oh, he's all spiky. I dig it. I dig it so much. Catra with her shield and her mask, her sword. I like the hair too. She could whip that hair back and forth. That's cool. Then we've got here, this is Hordak himself. With this little minion there. The staff is a bit bent, which I'm not happy about, but I can bend that back out. The cape is boss. Hordak was always cool. I found Hordak to be awesome. He was great. Shadow Weaver. I love it. Oh, that mini's awesome. Shadow Weaver is fantastic, and I just hope the camera is doing these things justice because they're so good. Mantenna. With this crazy hypnotic gaze. I love it. Again, those crossbows are sick. Sometimes I like to be the bad guy, but I don't know. There's just so much going on here. We have Modulock. Is this Modulock? Yes. With his crazy legs and everything. I remember him spinning around, causing trouble. He was a bit of a dumbass, but oh gosh, so many memories. Leech. Leech was one of my favourite action figures because you could stick him to windows and stuff, have him on the car on the ride to school in the morning. Primary school that was, because I'm very old in comparison to when this first came out. Shadow Wraiths. Oh, I love it. These guys are sick and twisted. Oh my gosh, check this out. So this is Shadow Wraith. But if you flip it over, look at that cape. It's like almost like a mini for a Lich or something. That's so good. So good. Okay, that is the contents of that box there. That is done. That is finished. There is space for the cards as well within there, so that can all fit in there. Extra storage for tokens and other bits and pieces. I like that for the punch outs. I thought there might have been a scenario pack for that. Maybe not. Maybe it was just literally being able to use the different minis. I can't see a box. Box. That's fine. That is the Evil Horde. Let's do She-Ra and the Great Rebellion. I dig it. I dig it so much. All right, here we go. We've got She-Ra and the Great Rebellion. Now I believe this is just a way to effectively add in different components, different players, different heroes, etc. I love it. We're going to put that one there so we know what we're talking about. We're going to get that one out of here for now. Too many boxes, but I'm actually kidding. There's not enough boxes. Let's see. We have more tokens, terrain tokens, the hero tokens, and Cow is here as well. I dig that. That's fantastic. Tokens for days. I am, before we do anything else, going to get rid of the plastic off this tray. All right, so after all that chaos, we have more. Let's do the cards first because that's awesome. We have, I'll rip off the plastic off this one and then we'll go through the cards, which are not why you're here. I know you're here for the minis, but the cards are awesome too. Let's be honest, the artwork's fantastic. Then we have the Bright Moon folk archers. So each faction has its own set of minions, which is great. I love it so much. Terrain, you have the Ice Wall terrain. Have a couple of NPCs here as well. Bright Moon Archers, Cow as your NPC, and the Bright Moon Archer minis as well for the minions. Then we have the AI cards, which are pretty straightforward for those. Perfumer is there. We have She-Ra, Sword of Protection and the Guard ally ability. You have Flutterina, Glimmer, Froster, Bow, Mermista, Perfumer, and of course a mounted version on Swiftwind, which is boss as hell. Character cards here, which is your player abilities and upgrades and things as well. I am looking forward to this weekend. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Cards. Lasso, Strategist, Swiftwind. There's so many powers, and again, these are all double-sided, so you've got your control cards there as well. I dig it. Again, another little tray, which I think is great that you can have that for storage while you play, similar to the little storage boxes we saw in the box of power, which is fantastic. Let's rip that one out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. We don't need you here. All right, we have. Let's see what we've got here. I don't even know where to begin. Let's start with the minions. Bright Moon Soldiers doing their thing with their rifles and everything else as well. Again, that guy's running in as a trooper, shooting from the hip, whereas this guy is taking aim and doing his thing. I love it. And again, I hope these guys, I know they're minions, but they still deserve their time in the spotlight as well. I'm going to rip this tray out of here. There we go. Let's see. We've got... where do we even start? Mermista, who is... I love that sculpt. She's got a shield. And she's got that tail that splits. Flipping around. The hair is fantastic as well. I love it. I love this one. This is a great expansion. We have, is this a Perfumer? Flutterina. Of course it is, because she's got big ass wings. They are huge. Flutterina is here. Means business. We have, who's got the wand? Is this Froster? No, this is Glimmer. Glimmer? Yes, she's got big hair. Glimmer is here. The wand. Again, that big hair we saw before. Glimmer. This is Bow. So named because he carries a giant bow. Very clever thinking. His cape is very cool. Cape, cloak, more of a cloak, I would say. Perfumer, who has like a flower gun. Guns and roses, as it were. Again, that hair. Oh, the sculpts are so good. I dig it so much. Then, of course, we have She-Ra, who is here. She-Ra herself, doing her thing. With her sword, cloak, everything else. She means business. I think this is Froster, from memory. Is this Froster? She looks a bit frosty. She's got a frost wand. Very cool. Again, cloaks and robes for days. Dig it, dig it, dig it. And then, of course, we have She-Ra mounted on this bad boy. Swiftwind. The unicorn. Oh my goodness. It's so good. Epic as hell. Oh man. It's just so good. I dig it so much. All right. That is everything in the She-Ra and the Great Rebellion box. I thought, obviously I'm not 100% accurate, I thought there was more scenarios involving these characters, but obviously I have that incorrect. Having said that, being able to pick and choose new heroes to play as from different factions is just kind of cool. I dig it. And the fact that there is so much content for a base game at release is pretty spectacular as well. Then we have one of my personal favorites, the Wrath of Snake Mountain. King Hiss was one of my favorite villains. Hordak is great. King Hiss is boss. It's my own personal opinion. I mean, Skeletor is Skeletor, but whatever. Anyway, there's also something else in here which is very exciting. You'll see what I mean. The artwork, the boxes, everything is tightly packed. I know I've backed probably way too many CMON products, but I don't care. I've got this. It's awesome. Plastic on the floor. On the overhead. Whoop, there you go. You can see here. Wow. Check it out. Like, that artwork alone is bloody brilliant. It's so good. Let's take a look. The Wrath of Snake Mountain. There, that's what I'm talking about. Scenarios. I dig it. I dig it. Pit bosses. Mind the gap. Victory conditions. Secure the Rex. Matt, Rex? What do you mean by Rex? I don't understand. No, you wouldn't. But I'll explain. We have tokens here. Oops. Tokens that are loose. We have some, like, maybe poison tokens, condition tokens, the hero or the villain character tokens. Then you've got some more looks like poison or venom terrain, maybe. We'll have a look and see. Those little eye ones as well. They're very cool. I dig it. We'll get to the side and we'll go through all of the different bits and pieces. Condition tokens. You have poison, constrict, and paralysis. Well, that's not good. Unless you're the one dealing out the paralysis. I think that's all right. Plastic on the floor. We don't need that anymore. Terrain, that is Sleep Mist. We have a minions, condition markers for each player. The minion is a snake trooper with a venom blade. I kind of dig that. More cards, more cards, more cards, more cards. Let's get through. This one's packed a little bit differently because there is a lot more going on, which is why I left it to last. It's my favorite. Yeah, King Hiss is awesome. Let's see. I know you're looking into the box. I know. I'll get there. All right, just wait. I know you're all excited. But even after this last box, there's still more boxes. Go figure. Which is a pun, really, because the last boxes are literally just figures. All right, we have the cards, player powers, or character powers, I should say. for all the different things. Master, Strategist, Toxin Master, Snake Form, 5-headed Strike. Oh my gosh. So good, so good, so good. Okay, so these ones are going to go back in here. We're going to rip the paper, or plastic I should say, off this one. Got the AI cards that we will look through briefly, but the artwork is the same. They have the player powers and things as well. I love it so damn much. We have King Hiss with his Viper Staff, Snake Face, Ratlaw, I have one of him as well, he was cool, Squeeze, Cobra Khan, Tongue Lasher. That was a minifigure, action figure that I had. Tongue Lasher was awesome. And of course, Serpentine King Hiss as well. Oh my goodness. All right, let's get this out of here because there's always going to be tape and stuff we've got to get rid of. Thanks so much for that, CMON. All right, let's do this. So I'll get rid of all that there, cards for days. We have minions. Now these are the Snake Trooper minions. There are a few of those. Let's see, what have we got here? Ow, I've got tape all over me. This is ridiculous. We have a Snake Minion Trooper. Again, 2 sculpts. They got a little tongue thing spitting out, which I kind of dig. These look like some of the toughest minions that you can get in this game, and I dig it. Another one just sort of standing at ease, which is very, very cool. I dig that very much. The back of him is there too. So good. Then we have, who have we got here? We've got, this is Cobra Khan. He's got one of those maces that we know and love. I dig it. I dig it. I dig it. So good. Cobra Khan is there. We have, is this Squeeze? Yes. Squeeze. Look at those arms. Speaking of constriction, those tokens must all be used by us. Look at this guy. I love this one. That's a heck of a sculpt. So good. We have Ratlaw. Is this Ratlaw? Yep. That's a decent mini. This guy means business. I dig it. I dig it. A rattle tail, everything else. It's really awesome. Then we have, who have I got here? This is Tongue Lasher. There you go. With his little crossbow, butterfly crossbow thing, and staff. Tongue whip. Oh, so good. Then we have, who is this one? This is Snake Face, I believe. Yep. With quite literally snakes coming out of all over his eyes and everything else as well, because it's just sick and twisted. Snake Face was probably one of the scarier villains. It's awesome as hell. Then we have, is that King Hiss there? Yes. So we have King Hiss. Sorry, I'm trying to get the tape off my fingers still. King Hiss in his normal form here, with his scepter, shield, ready to take names, deal some damage. I love it. His shielding there always meant business. And then you would get him to come out in his snake form. Look at this thing. I love it so much. It's absolutely brilliant. I dig it. I'll try and get boxes when I do the flyover. I will put all the minis together from all the different boxes so you know which is for what. And then you have the mount, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which, of course, has a big freaking cannon on it. Boom. Look at this thing. The biggest mount there is. And as it should be. The details on these are sick. It's so good. Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh my goodness. Means business. It's my favorite box. I love it. I love it. The question is, as a controller, which 3 of these would you take into battle? King Hiss because of the shape-changing form. I mean, surely. But then who else? Snakeface? Tongue Lasher? I don't know. One of those. All right, we are nearly there, folks. We are nearly there. We still have a few little last-minute bits and pieces that we are going to go through. So I'm going to pop that down there. Dice pack. Because, as I mentioned, dice seem to, in CMON games, run a little foul. Having 12 dice in the core box is actually really good, I think. But having extra dice is always a good thing. And these ones are a nice marbled power color. So these are like power dice. So for example, if you play through the game and you get told you get to add a die, maybe you take one of those instead. Something's a bit different. I do like the fact that rolling 6 dice will say ranged attack because 1, 2, 3, 4 hits and 2 obviously misses in this case. And they have that same Grayskull castle on them, which doubles any of his, or counts as 2 successes for that. We also have a couple of last minute boxes here. These 2 little exclusive minis, just thanks for backing. Thanks CMON for those, appreciate those. This one has a certain figure in it. This one has an even smaller figure in it. But hey, let's, rather than just talk about them, let's do it. Again, I'll try not to stab myself in the process, but I make no promises because I'm still so excited. Let's see what we've got here. We have there is so much crap on the floor here. This one here is a miniature, and I believe there's a bit of space in some of the boxes for it, so I'm going to pop him in there. There's a little bit of plastic to keep him safe. I love that. Unnecessary, but this is a miniature for Cow. Little Cow. There you go. Cow was the Orko of the She-Ra world. I don't think he was as good as Orko. Orko was just the original and the best. So when they did the movie and they had, what's his name? Gildo or whatever his name was. I was just like, what are you doing? Just Masters of the Universe, what are you doing? Mattel. Whatever. It gave Billy Barty a good run. He was kind of cool. All right, let's see what else we got here. We got this one is a little bit larger of a box. It is only the one figure inside here. Go figure, as I said before. But this one is a standalone of a mount that we haven't seen yet. This one is a mount for Mantisaur. It's good. It's good. So here you go. Mantisaur in all his glory. All its glory, I should say. I love it. I love it. I love it so much. It's bloody fantastic. I dig it. I dig it. Mantisaur is going to go there. I'll put him back in his little box for now because that's fine. Oh! And there's a mount card that you can use. I'm glad I saw that. I nearly just moved straight on. Thank you so far, folks, for... thank you to all of you if you've been getting this far. I appreciate your patience. There is a lot to get through, but I hope you found it worthwhile because this is going to be an amazing, amazing thing. A mount card for Mantisaur there, so you can use that in-game, which is fabulous. We're going to pop that one in there. I'm going to pop that one in there too. There we go. Pop him to the side. And that is it. That is... everything I had. Interesting. There was a terrain pack I thought as well, but obviously either I may have misclicked and not added that into our pledge, or it's missing. I thought there was a 3D terrain pack. It'll appear on the screen if I forgot to order it. Oh well, that's my bad. There is a lot to unpack, as you've just seen. There is a lot going on for this game. I am very excited. Table presence is a big thing. Having the castle on the table, holy crap balls bonsai, it's amazing. I love it so much. That is the scenario I will set up and show you. The attack on Castle Grayskull with all the bells and whistles, everything set up on the table. The minis marching on the background. You know what? Forget it. Let's just roll the footage. There it is. There are no words. I think I need to just go and start playing solo. It's all still set up on the table, so I'm just gonna go and do all that. I don't even know where to begin. It's just so epic. I love it. The gameplay is relatively simplistic. Strategy is going to come to the fore, obviously, as you were trying to take hold and control the map and complete the objectives. Have you played this one yet? If you have, please let me know how you went. Who is your go-to hero? Who is your go-to villain? If you were able to pick a squad, which squad would you go for? I would love to hear your thoughts on this one, and make some suggestions on team-ups to take on the villains side of things as well. Any villain teams you think would be working well together, I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. I am going to get this to the table over the weekend. I am going to have an absolute ball with this, I'm sure. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I know it's been a long road. I hope it's been rewarding for you. It would be remiss of me not to thank our Patreon subscribers for allowing us to continue to do all the crazy stuff we do, and you as well for sticking around and watching such a long video today. At the same time, I would love it if you would hit that button down there that says subscribe so you can stay in touch whenever we post any new content. We'll be back with some more epic stuff. I don't know how we're going to top this. This is pretty out there, pretty epic. But we will be back here at the table for more epic board game content. We have a review coming out soon. We have more unboxings to get through. Epic, crazy stuff as well. Thanks very much for watching and getting this far. But for now, folks, it is ta-ta.